Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm RP, and today we're going to walk you through our R2's electronics. So let's dig into it. So this is the complete electronics system of my R2 unit, and it is simply located in the back of his body. And I have attached these custom made little plastic pieces, and I have fixed magnets to the back of them, and then the back plate goes on nice and secure. And here's the back plate, so you can see the 3 receiving magnets. And then on the print, it has these little guiders at the top that go up inside. So putting this on is fairly easy. You can simply just align those little guiders, and then it magnetizes into place, and it's nice and secure. And then there's a little lip that you can pull out right there with your fingers and get back into it. But I will list all of the components in the description below, and what they are, where I got them. But this is essentially the Padawan 360 setup. And you can go to Imperial Light and Magic on YouTube and check out Steve's tutorials on how to set this up. They're very good. They're very detailed. But let me just walk you quickly through what we've got here. This is run off of a 24-volt system, and this is just a little voltmeter that shows you the voltage coming into the system. This is your MP3 player. There's the SD card, and you can see the details here. But I am powering this off of the 24-volt battery, but I have a buck converter. The reason those numbers are upside down is because of the way that this is positioned. But this is bringing in 24 volts, and it's converting it to 11.7 volts or 12 volts. So it's taking the 24 volt voltage and converting it down to 12 to power the MP3 player. Now, in Steve's tutorials, he does not power the MP3 player off of that power port. He powers the MP3 player off of the dome motor, and he brings 5 volts out of that little slot right there over into the MP3 board. But I have read online that there are a lot of brownout issues that result in that. So I just decided to power it directly, took the 24 volts, converted it down, brought it, and so it's powering it by itself. I've never had a problem. So here's the amplifier. It's a very cheap little amplifier that powers the sound and the speaker that's located in the front of R2. And here we have a noise reductor or reducer. It essentially eliminates any hum that or interference in the system, so you don't get any buzzing through the speaker. And then here we have the Mega Arduino board, and I got away from the USB host shield and that whole thing. It was just problem after problem. And anyway, you can research online what's going to work best for you. But the Mega ADK, it comes with an onboard USB port. And this is what the Microsoft 360 adapter is plugged into, or receiver, I should say, for the controller. So here's my controller, and the receiver is plugged right into the Mega ADK. Steve will tell you how to load the open source Arduino code onto this board. You do have to potentially make some minor adjustments in the code, but when I say minor, they're very minor. As an example, this little teeny board is what runs this is called the Siren 10, I believe. This is what runs the dome motor. So I don't know if you can, it's up there. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, that's what runs the dome motor to twist his head back, turn his head back and forth. I had to change the baud rate in the Arduino code to work with the Siren 10. No big deal. It was easy. There are tutorials online on how to do that. This is the Sabertooth, and I will again list the exact part that I got down in the description below, but this is what runs the motors in each foot. So that's all set up, and I'm running, I believe I've got 14 gauge wire that I'm running out of those motors. You can see how thick it is there. It's coming out from the Sabertooth. The other wires that you know are in here are fairly thin gauge. You can see I'm coming out of the Siren S1, and that S1 is going into, it looks like the 19 port. It's kind of hard to see there. Could be the 18 or 17. I don't know what it is. But anyway, all of this, if you want to know, the reason I'm pointing this out is if you want to know where all of these wires go, Steve walks you through this. His tutorial is very, very detailed. So I would recommend going over to Imperial Light and Magic to see how to set this all up. It is not hard. It is not hard. It just takes a little bit of time. So yeah, this is all great. And to connect him, I just plug in my battery pack and power up the controller, and you can hear that he just connected. And you can see that his motor is working great, and you can hear all of the noises. So there are 4 buttons here, and then all of these buttons in front, if you push them down, for example, this button right here, if I push this down and play and push any of these buttons, I get music. And then if I just push the buttons themselves, I get sounds. Any of these buttons I push down, I get different sounds. So yeah, it works amazingly well, and I took him out for a couple of hours to our city center. a little while ago, and his battery lasted really long. I was there 2 hours and didn't even use didn't even use a quarter of the power on the battery. The battery is a 24 volt Kobalt battery for tools. This is it. So it's 6 amps, 24 volts, and I just have to take off the head, and then inside the base, which is underneath there, there's a little battery compartment, and I simply just drop the battery in and slide it into the battery casing. And when I just need to change it out, I just grab these 2 little prongs on the battery, push them in, slide it out, and take it out. So I've got 2 batteries that I can change R2 out with. And it's really super simple. And then I've got a battery display on here. And when I said I didn't even use a quarter of the power, I still had full 4 green lights after 2 hours of runtime. Now, I wasn't running him constantly, right? He'd stop, he'd get pictures with people, we'd start him up again, he'd drive around, we'd stop. But yeah, it'll last you all day at a convention for sure. Anyway, just wanted to show how I've got that all situated, and I'll list all the parts down below. Thanks for watching.